In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 MLB games happening on July 23, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Kansas City Royals versus Chicago Cubs. The Kansas City Royals, at 49-52 with a 51-50 run line and 40-60 over-under, are facing the Chicago Cubs, who sit at 59-41 with a 49-51 run line and 40-52 over-under, as they close out their 3-game set this Wednesday afternoon. Through July, these two starters have been on totally different wavelengths. Seth Lugo is sitting at 1-0 with a 3.93 earned run average, and hitters batting .250 against him over 18.1 innings in his 3 outings, while Colin Ree is rolling at 3-0 with a stingy 1.45 earned run average and a 0.91 WHIP across 18.2 innings in his 3 starts coming into this one. When it comes to cashing in with runners in scoring position, there's a huge divide here. Kansas City ranks dead last at 29th in the league with a .649 team OPS in those spots, but Chicago is way up there in second place with a .810 OPS, showing they know how to deliver when it counts. Plus, the Cubs have taken 4 out of the last 6 games between these teams, which adds to their momentum heading into the finale. Look, I'm just not sure I can count on Seth Lugo when he's pitching away from home, especially staring down a Cubs batting order that's stacked with talent and feels like one of the most well-rounded groups in the whole league. The Royals hitters have been all over the place, hot one day and ice cold the next, and that inconsistency spells real problems for them in this spot. I figure they're heading into some rough waters today. As our first pick for this matchup, the Chicago Cubs money line is our full game side pick. Lugo's track record against Chicago hasn't been pretty at all. He's got a bloated 5.91 earned run average and an 0-4 mark in those matchups, which doesn't inspire much confidence. Kansas City's arms overall haven't been locking things down lately, looking a bit shaky and less reliable than usual. They've let opponents rack up 26 runs over their previous 6 road trips heading into Tuesday night, and that kind of leakage on the mound could bite them hard if it continues. On top of that, the Cubs have been giving up 27 runs in their last 6 games at home, so their defense isn't airtight either, leaving the door open for some back and forth action. Ria's put up some nice numbers this year, no doubt, but he's far from an elite guy at the top of the rotation. He's never really dominated like that. In fact, he's had an ERA over 4 in every full season he's spent in the majors, which keeps expectations in check. And against the Royals specifically, his career earned run average balloons to 7.71, suggesting he might not have their number when it matters. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. St. Louis Cardinals versus Colorado Rockies. On Wednesday, the St. Louis Cardinals, sitting at 52-49 and holding 3rd place in the National League Central, head to Coors Field in the Mile High City for the finale of their 3-game set against the Colorado Rockies. Colorado's been stuck in a nightmare of a season, lagging way behind the top spot in the National League West by more than 34 games, but they're lining up against St. Louis at just the right moment. The Cardinals have stumbled, dropping 5 of their last 7 overall and 8 out of their past 10 on the road, showing some real cracks in their game lately. The Rockies are rolling out a starter who came through strong in his latest turn on the hill, while the guy towing the rubber for St. Louis got knocked around pretty bad in his most recent outing. Take Matthew Liberatore for the Cardinals. He had a rough go last time, surrendering 9 hits and 6 runs in only 3 innings, which left his team hanging and highlighted some ongoing issues with his command and ability to keep hitters off balance. On the flip side, Colorado's Kyle Freeland is scraping by with a 2-10 record, a 5.19 earned run average, and a 1.53 WHIP this year. No question it's been a grind for him, but he's fresh off what might be his sharpest performance of the season. The lefty limited opponents to just 5 hits and 1 lone run over 6 solid innings in a 6-4 win over Minnesota last Friday, proving he can still dial it in and give his squad a fighting chance when he's on. Sure, the numbers mostly tilt toward St. Louis if you just glance at the sheets, but step into Coors Field and all bets are off. It's a wild card of a park where anything can unfold, and the Rockies are counting on their experienced lefty to anchor them and maybe steal this one at home. As our first pick for this matchup, the Colorado Rockies money line is our full game side pick. Yeah, this one's at Coors Field, where the thin air means balls can sail out of there like nobody's business on any given day, turning routine flies into homers and inflating scores left and right. But check this out. The under has been the way to go lately, cashing in 6 of Colorado's past 7 games total, including 4 of their last 5 at home like Monday's defeat, and it's also hit in 4 out of the previous 5 head-to-head clashes between the Rockies and St. Louis, suggesting that even in this hitter-friendly spot, things might not explode as much as you'd expect. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Houston Astros versus Arizona Diamondbacks. The Houston Astros are wrapping up their 3-game road series this Wednesday against the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Astros have hit some rough patches lately, stumbling through parts of the past few weeks with losses piling up. They dropped 7 of their last 10 heading into Tuesday's action, and it's left them looking vulnerable on the field. Arizona's poised to jump all over that shaky form and snag the win in this finale, especially with their starter Brandon Pfaadt taking the hill. He's been solid at home with a 3.71 earned run average, and the Diamondbacks have gone 6-4 in those games he's pitched there. Their bats have come alive in their own park too, hitting .255 overall at home and racking up the 4th most runs in the league this season, which should play right into their hands against Houston's Brandon Walter, who's struggled away from home with a 4.82 earned run average that makes him an easier target. Sure, the Astros have made good contact with the ball, but they've been inefficient at turning those hits into actual runs, sitting just 14th in the majors for total runs scored, and that gap could hurt them here as Arizona looks to capitalize and turn the tide. The Astros have dominated this series so far, taking control in the early games, but it's bound to shift soon with the Diamondbacks ready to heat up at the plate and make their move. Walter just doesn't bring the same stuff when he's pitching on the road, posting that 4.82 earned run average along with a .264 batting average against him, which opens the door for opposing hitters to do some damage. Meanwhile, Pfaadt's been on a roll this month, giving up only 14 hits and 6 runs over his last 21 innings, and at home he's even sharper with a 3.71 earned run average across 53.1 innings, showing he can lock in and control the game from the mound. All in all, this lines up as a prime opportunity for Arizona to rally, get their offense clicking, and dodge the sweep in front of their fans. As our first pick for this matchup, the Arizona Diamondbacks money line is our full game side pick. Both squads are set to light up the scoreboard in this one, with plenty of offense on tap from each side. The starters aren't exactly shutdown aces, both carrying earned run averages above 3.66 for the year, and these lineups have been pouring on the runs without much trouble lately. Arizona's offense has been potent, tallying the 4th highest run total in the league, while Houston's been raking against National League West teams with a .286 batting average that keeps them dangerous. Add in the Astros ranking 5th overall in hits and the Diamondbacks sitting 2nd in doubles, and you've got a recipe for tons of chances to drive in runs. Expect the bats to stay hot and push this game well beyond the basics. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Milwaukee Brewers versus Seattle Mariners. The Brewers are squaring off against the Mariners in the 3rd game of their series over at T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington. The Milwaukee Brewers are on fire right now, rolling into this game with a ton of steam behind them after rattling off 7 wins in a row against squads that all have winning records, which shows they're not just beating up on pushovers but handling real competition day in and day out. What's even more eye-catching is how they've pulled off victories in the last 9 outings where Quinn Priester has taken the mound for them. He's been steady as a rock, putting up quality starts that keep his team in the driver's seat and give them every chance to come out on top. Yeah, Seattle's got Luis Castillo going, and he's no slouch with some strong performances under his belt lately, but Milwaukee's bats are clicking on all cylinders. Their lineup is dialed in, and they've got that extra layer of depth in the rotation that tips the scales in their favor for this matchup. The Mariners, on the other hand, have been up and down like a yo-yo recently, scraping by with a mediocre 3-3 mark in their past 6 as the betting favorite. And honestly, it's tough to throw money behind them at these odds when they're up against a Brewers crew that's firing on all fronts and looking unstoppable. Snagging plus money on the team that's scorching hot across baseball right now, that's a no-brainer, the kind of spot you jump on without second guessing. As our first pick for this matchup, the Milwaukee Brewers money line is our full game side pick. This one's shaping up to be one of those old-school duels where the arms on the mound take center stage and dictate the flow from the jump. Priester and Castillo both do a solid job of keeping hitters from barreling up the ball, mixing in pitches that miss bats and rack up strikeouts without much fuss, which sets the tone for a tight, controlled battle rather than some wild shootout. Looking back at Milwaukee's games when Priester's starting, they've mostly kept things under the total or right around it, thanks to his consistent tempo and ability to work through innings efficiently without letting runners pile up or big rallies build. Castillo's turns have followed a similar script, turning into these contained mid-range scoring games where neither side breaks loose too often, as he stays composed and picks his spots wisely. With both guys bringing that sharp, no-nonsense style to the hill and the teams likely playing it smart to match, expect the runs to stay scarce, keeping the scoreboard from lighting up on either end. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Minnesota Twins versus Los Angeles Dodgers. On Wednesday afternoon, the Minnesota Twins, sitting at 48-52 and holding down fourth place in the American League Central, are set to battle the Los Angeles Dodgers in the rubber match of their three-game series out at Dodger Stadium. Before this series kicked off, the Dodgers had grabbed wins in 4 of their last 6 clashes with the Twins, even snagging 2 out of 3 during their most recent showdown in Los Angeles, which shows they've had the upper hand in these meetings lately. The Dodgers took care of business in the opener on Monday, pulling out the victory to start things off strong. Their pitchers have been stingy against Minnesota, holding them to 3 runs or fewer in 5 consecutive games, really putting a lid on the Twins' bats and making it tough for them to generate any consistent offense. When it comes to hitting, the Dodgers hold a clear edge, sitting in the top 5 across several key stats like their third-ranked batting average of .297, while the Twins are stuck in the lower half of the league in those same areas, struggling to keep up with that kind of production. Plus, the Dodgers have been dominant on their home turf this season, winning at a solid 66% rate, which makes Dodger Stadium a tough place for visitors to steal a game. The Twins have been rough on the road, dropping more than 60% of their away games and just not finding their groove when they're away from home base. The Pirates managed 2 runs, or fewer in 3 of their last 4 games before the break, but shifting back, Glasnow dominated the Twins in their previous encounter, tossing 7 scoreless innings and fanning 14 batters to completely shut them down. Paddock's had a tough time against the Dodgers over his career, often getting knocked around and unable to contain their lineup effectively. I see the argument for grabbing the Twins at that big plus money price, since there's usually a bit of extra cost baked in when you're betting on a name like Tyler Glasnow just because of his reputation and track record. Still, with the Twins rolling out Chris Paddock to start, it feels like that's more of a liability than a boost right now, given his recent form and history, and I figure the Dodgers will scrape together what they need to pull out the win and close this series on top. As our first pick for this matchup, the Los Angeles Dodgers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. In their last series at Dodger Stadium, 2 out of the 3 games sailed over the total, with a whopping 33 runs scored across the set as both teams found ways to cross the plate repeatedly and keep the scoreboard moving. Los Angeles put up 7 or more runs in a couple of those contests, showing their ability to erupt offensively when they're clicking at home. Neither team's pitching staff is lighting it up this year, with both landing in the bottom half of the majors in several important areas like the Dodgers' 23rd ranked earned run average, which means there should be plenty of chances for hitters on both sides to cash in and drive in runs as the game unfolds. The Twins have been leaky on the road too, posting an earned run average over 4 away from home, so their arms might not hold up well against a potent Dodgers attack. The Dodgers boast one of the best offenses around in 2025, sitting near the top in a bunch of categories like that third-place batting average, giving them the firepower to pile on runs in a hurry when opportunities arise. The Twins exploded for 12 runs in a rout of the Pirates right before the break, proving they can still put up crooked numbers even against decent pitching. Paddock's been getting hammered lately, with an ERA over 7 in his past 3 outings, which opens the door for more scoring if he can't turn it around. All things considered, this shapes up as a game where the bats take over and push the total higher in Los Angeles on Wednesday. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.